Home signature. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. See how that's done? Welcome to the coolest office in all of Green Valley. And our associate broker here is to take it away. I'm done. Line them out.
Okay, well, that was a great intro.
I'm here
Thank
to
you
stir
so
it up,
much.
and then I'm out of here.
All right, guys, welcome aboard. Welcome to the meeting. We have the Green Valley sales meeting this morning. So we're going to kick it off by starting off with the mortgage moments. Is Myra here? There she is. All right, come on up and tell us some good stuff about what's going on right now. You got that one?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I love the energy today. All right, so I just kind of wanted to go over a little bit about rates and kind of where they are. The Feds met last week, so we're currently sitting, it's been a little volatile, but we're currently sitting at least 7.5, and I've seen it go a little bit higher as well. So with their meeting that they had last week, they didn't increase the interest rate, they left it where it's at. They do have 2 additional meetings for the rest of the year, one in November and one in December. They said that they possibly see one more rate increase for the year. However, based on, current numbers coming in this week and stuff like that, they say that that might not happen, but, it's not out of the books yet. So they, so they also said that next year, originally they had forecasted 4 rate decreases, but now they're only saying that there's possibly only a chance for 2. They're trying to bring the inflation down to 2%, and they're very, very stuck on that number. It did come up from close to 9%. We're currently sitting at 3.7. When they review new data coming in, because when the feds meet, they go based off of old numbers, like a month or 2 months old. So when new numbers are starting to come in, they say that we are closer to that 2%. So hopefully, that will allow for us to not have any more rate increases for the rest of the year. But other than that, home values have remained high. And why is that? Because lack of inventory. So they said the top 3 reasons right now that people aren't purchasing homes: 1, because of the rates; 2, because there are multiple offers; and 3, because they can't find a home in their budget. So there's still plenty of buyers out there. Now it's just a matter of finding a home, affordability, and getting them into, something that maybe not during COVID they can buy a super high priced home because interest rates were low. Now they're, may have to go at a lower price point. But that's pretty much it where we are with rates. So we'll keep watching them, and we'll update you guys if anything else comes up.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Myra. Any questions for Myra? Yes, there's a question back there.
Speculative, do you have the 2 rate decreases, how much?
They say it's probably not going to be very much. I mean, from what I hear, it's going to be like 0.5 point. And keep in mind, too, when they're decreasing the rate, it's not going to go from, 7.5% down to 7. 0.5 point could mean, a quarter or an eighth of a point when it comes to interest rates. So they like the whole stay holding higher longer. So if you have somebody saying, hey, I'm just waiting for the new year for interest rates to drop, they may not drop as fast as we initially thought.
Okay, great. Any other questions? Janet, come on up. Thanks, Myra. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, this is the last time I'm going to talk about this. Our Making Strides Against Breast Cancer luncheon is Saturday. We still have room if you would like to join us, because I will tell you, the raffle prizes, not just the libation baskets, but the raffle prizes are phenomenal. I can hardly get in my office for all the baskets. And plus, you're going to get a goodie bag for showing up. So please, if you want to come, email Bill, Venmo him the money. Let me know. I'll hang around after the meeting. We're still selling tickets for the libation baskets, which will be drawn for at the luncheon. Next Tuesday, we will be meeting at the Green Valley office, and we'll be having our annual bake sale to raise funds for breast cancer. So if you can donate a baked good. Oh, sorry, thank you. Southwest, my office, Southwest, Spanish Ridge, whatever you want to call it. So if you can donate a baked good, please let Sherry KK know. Also, if you're new to Signature, right after the office meeting, besides the bake sale that will be going on, is new agent orientation, and you need to attend that. Also, I want to let you know that LVR has now taken reservations for their last general membership luncheon, and this time, free CE class on law, taught by J.C. Melvin. So make your reservations. It's free to you, lunch and CE at the M on October 20th. And this is the thing I want you to really listen to. If you have not paid your MLS fees, which have been posted to your agent account for a good 6 weeks, they are late as of October 5th. If not paid by October 5th, you will incur a late fee, never refundable. And if you still don't pay them, you're cut off from MLS, and we'll have to send your license back to the division. So, pay your MLS fees. That's all I have. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Janet. Any questions for Janet? Okay, thanks, Janet. Okay, let's go right into wants and needs. I look right at Conrad because I always know he gets up. But anyways, anybody have wants and needs? Selling, buyers, come on up.
I have a family. They're looking for a larger home, like around over 4,300 square feet. They need at least 5 bedrooms with a pool. They want a large lot. Older homes, they prefer an older home. They prefer maybe the Green Valley area. They'll do Silverado, Seven Hills, but that general area, they're up to 1.3 million. We're having a hard time finding them what they want, but if you have anything, let me know. Thank you.
Okay, this is your time to kind of connect with each other, find out exactly what you guys have on the market. What about listings? Do you have any listings that need to be moved today? Any buyers? Come on over, Eric.
I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath new listing coming up here. This is going to go online Thursday, and it's going to be listed around 700,000, maybe a little bit under. And there's already a home that's appraised similar to that. So it's near Kawabunga Bay, but not right next to Kawabunga Bay, more like 4 or 5 streets down. You might be able to hear a little bit of kids in the summer, but it's a really nice area. It's done. The curb appeal is amazing. There's no pool, but the backyard's done nicely, and there is a waterfall on the back, and yeah, so it's a really nice area. Send them my way, please.
All right, thank you so much. Anybody for that one? Anybody else have a listing, a buyer, anybody that you guys want to talk about? Well, this parlays perfectly into our speakers today because we can help you find some perfect homes. We have a couple builders here with us today, so they're going to come up and speak a little bit. We're going to start off with Carmine. If you want to come on up, he's with Beezer Homes, and so he's got some material he's going to hand out a little bit. We would definitely want to know what's going on with the new builds right now. They have their interest rates, what they have on the market, and he has a group of people he's going to introduce for you.
They told me we got about 15 minutes. These ladies are going to do a little duet, because that's just a lot of time to talk about new homes. I'm going to speak briefly about our community, and these ladies can do the same. What I would like to do at the end is ask you guys if we've got time to get some questions, because it doesn't matter what we're doing. It matters what you need, what you're looking for, what you're expecting, I think, out of the builders, and hopefully we can accommodate. So I'm selling a community, townhome community on College and Boulder Highway. We've been there about 28 months, 300 lots. We're down about 200. We got about 98, 100 lots left. Let's make the math easy. It's been a great product. Gated, pool, spa, kiddie park, dog park, no water bill, no sewer bill, HOA's $1.50 a month. Pretty easy. Hi, Iola. We've done some deals together in that product. It's going well. Is it mellowed out a little bit? It has, and I can't figure it out. That's why I'd like to ask when we're done, ask some questions about what you guys are thinking and why, and maybe why we're not getting, because we love you guys. During the COVID and, when things got crazy, guys, we went down to 2.5. That's as low as we got on your commission. We love you guys, and I came from like Atlanta. I don't know what happened with that, but anyway, we never stopped paying. We love you guys. We want 100% retention. Before I forget too, if you can't make it, This is a Beezer thing. It's not an us thing. It's a Beezer thing. If you can't make it, call us. Ellen knows. Call us. Hey, man, they got loose from me. Or if they come in, hey, we've got, who's your realtor? I'll ask a lot of times, how'd you hear about us? Well, a realtor. Who's your realtor? So you have their card. Sometimes, amazingly, they don't. They don't have you guys' number. That does that. I mean, we'll call you and say, hey, man, your clients are here. Ah, sorry. Your clients are here. That's a lot. Your clients are here. We want to let you know that we're going to tour them. We're going to register them on your behalf. You're going to get paid if they buy. I don't know, guys. I think that's big because I hear some horror stories. I forget about who they are. I know you don't. And you know what? I wish that more people didn't. You know, it's unfortunate sometimes we do have to go, I saw this, and we don't want to go. Whatever. Whoever the builder is irrelevant. We don't want to go there because of X, Y, and Z. Whatever. We want your business. We really appreciate you guys. You're a partner. So anyway, let me get back to the community, and then please at the end maybe ask some questions, and hopefully we can accommodate your requests. 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,800, 2,000 square foot home, townhomes. So they're attached. You know, they've got the firewall in the middle. You can't hear your neighbor. There's no yard. There's always an outside area. You've got a balcony or a deck on the third story, which is a great plan. The Barclay 350s. Now these are spec home, guys. So washer, dryer, fridge, 18 by 18 tile, blinds, garage door. It's all in there. They don't have to do anything. If there's time to change something and it's not too much brain damage on the builder or really on our sub, they say no, it's kind of a no, because we don't want to set the expectation and not have that granite change from whatever, from courts. If we can do it, we do it. You know, if we can't, unfortunately that we can't because we're just kind of blowing and going. Here's another great thing too. Our build time is 120 days. Even if you bring somebody in and we're just touching the dirt, the house will be done 120 days. COVID aside, you know, we had 6-7 months of that too, where 6-7 months to build a home. We know that a lot of builders do take that time and sometimes more. So it's 120 days, worst case scenario. Most of the time it's 60, it's 30. We may have an inventory home. Sometimes we do a lot of times we don't, which is good. So pricings, and there's some flyers that please everyone take one because again, those are the spec prices. Those houses that are listed there are done. They're finished with all the goodies in them. 350s. 360, again, 12, 13, 14, 18, and 2000. You're looking at 350s, 360s, 370s, and right around 400 grand. Done. They're done. We think it's a great alternative. Let's talk about financing for a second. So we don't buy like we are a publicly owned and traded company. We don't buy a block. We don't own our lenders. Maybe I'll let you speak about the lenders too. Let me just shut up. I'm going to ask Crystal. She's great at it. She'll tell you about our 4 lenders, and we don't own them. Yeah. No, you're fine. Thank you. College and Boulder Highway, 485 YLANG, Elang, YLANG, 485. That's our model center. Because when you look up the listing sometimes, it'll be the listing that's under construction and it won't come up in many cases. So 485 Elang. That's all I got. Any questions about what we just discussed? Quickly about Juniper Place, by the way, is the name of the community. My apologies. Juniper Place. Juniper Trails. Jesus. Wow. I took my medication this morning, too. Any questions about that? And you can always circle back after these ladies are done talking. If you have more questions, we're happy to answer them, guys. We really want to see you, and thank you for the opportunity. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much.
Like Carmine said, we don't own any mortgage companies, so we're not here to make money off the buyers when they come in. We will give 3% towards rate buy down right now to any of your buyers that come in and use one of our lenders. Because we don't own any lenders, we have the ability to get people right out of bankruptcy into loans. We have people that have had huge credit issues that we take care of in that 120 days to get them in a home and lock them in right away. I sell at a community in the Southwest. It's off of Buffalo and Post, right off the 215. If any one of you have heard of Avora, it's a new area in the Southwest that's going to be like a district. We're right behind that. And I sell the same homes as Carmine. I'm in the 380s, 400s. I do have availability. So come out and give us a look and see what your buyers think. I'm going to give it to Tiffany. She's got some closeout opportunities for you guys.
Thank you, Crystal. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having us. I am selling our Auburn Ridge community. It is close to Carmine. It's off of 95 and Wagon Wheel. Closeout, we are wrapping the community up. We have about 4 lots left. So 2 spec lots and then 2 models. So they're going to be in the mid 4s with the exception of 1 model that's going to be in the low mid 5s. It's going to be 4 bedrooms, 2 lofts, including the fridge, washer, dryer, all of the upgrades. Gated community, 55 lots, so intimate, nice park, barbecue area, dog park, gated, $80 HOA, no SIDS, no lids. I will be there until 6 p.m. Bring me your buyers. I'm happy to help them find a home. Thank you.
So just one more thing, if you don't mind. What Crystal was saying is we have 4 choice lenders. We don't own them. We contribute. Every community is a little bit different. Probably going to get a deal done today. It's typically 3% of the base price. They can use it towards buy down the rate. They can use it towards closing costs, right? They can use it for whatever they want, whatever suits them best as far as the financial concession. It's pretty cool because last week I did an I-10 loan, and when you have a lender, you hear one song. When you got 4, then we've got more opportunities. 2 out of the 4 couldn't do the I-10. The other one's just, another quote was just off the charts. If anyone does these I-10, they can get costly. It's points up front. It's a high rate. Finally got it done at like 9%, 8.99, and whatever the points were up front. But that's the beauty of having that. So you've got choice to where we want you to compare it because we don't mandate that they give you anything. But they're going to give your clients something because they know that they're going to compete with at least 2 out of the 4 lenders. A lot of the younger people, it's really interesting. The millennials, I find, where I am anyway, they'll shop all 4. Wow, that's awesome. It's really kind of the best way to do it. And sometimes it's kind of a quicker close. We just kind of ask, hey, apply with 2, you get whatever it is that we're offering. Today, I'll end up giving this guy another point. He's got 4 points, about almost 15 grand to work with, to buy down the rate and to talk to a couple of our choice lenders and see what's best for them. And a realtor. The realtor is really cool. Anyway, so I just wanted to touch a little bit more on the choice lenders. That's all I got. Anyone have any questions, you guys? Like, when are you coming?
I'm townhomes, same thing as Carmine.
I'm single family. Okay. 2,200 to 2,600 square feet. Courtyard, the entire width of the house. 3,700.
Oh, yeah, right.
3,700 lot size, and then it's going to be a courtyard. That's the entire width of the home. Full garage, 22 by 23 feet. So they're about 5 feet larger than a standard garage of 20 by 20. So you have storage area without it inconveniencing the car parking in the garage. Tankless water heaters, soft water loop, all that good stuff.
Her location is amazing too because we did 130 townhomes just literally right next door, the adjoining wall. They want to be a little secluded, and it's an amazing area.
It
It's
is
close to Boulder City. It's like 5 minutes from
Yeah,
Boulder.
5 minutes from Boulder. I think it is secluded. It's a nice little oasis because you have access to Green Valley Ranch, you have access to Lake Las Vegas, Boulder City, Water Street without having to be in that traffic. So especially any of the commercial, Target, Ulta, all of that, I would say anywhere between 7 to 10 minutes max. So it's a great location. Sage.
Yeah, Sage Reserve, is it? Sage Reserve, those are more, and what are those running? Single family, detached, yard, in fact, I called gated park. I called Jim the other day. I said, in the 4s, okay. Starting in the 4s? Starting in the 4s. You know, so probably with some goodies and a lot premium, who knows, probably closer to 5. You know, the reality of that is, right? And I don't know, I doubt they're spending.
And those come with solar.
Oh, that's right.
That's all I know about the community.
You guys, this company is 3 years ahead of Energy Star. That's it. There's only one builder to come close to what we're doing, and all the builders know it is KB, but even they don't do what we do. 2x6 construction, spray foam in the attic, cellulose in the walls. We're insulating the foundation, for God's sakes. Our CEO is nuts, but he's great. He's great because he's committed, and what else can you add to that? I know because I'm surprising performance. I mean, the energy bills are pennies in comparison.
On an inventory range, how much inventory would you say you guys have, like in months, compared to the rest of the market?
I think I'd answer like this, and maybe I want to understand
I
your
have
question.
homes on the ground right now that'll close October through January.
Yeah, I mean, and again, to answer that question, I think even if it's just coming out of the ground, it's 4 months away. So usually when you come in, we've got something 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, because it's up in the air. It's rolling.
Let me put that a different way. Do you have dramatically more projects than you had 2 years ago, or do you have less projects than you had 2 years ago?
You know what? And I would say it's the same. In the 20 years that I've been there, at least the past 10, we want to do 500 homes a year. That's what we aspire to do. The Beezer, Division, Vegas, we don't want to do any more than 500. That's just what we want to do here. Other divisions in Florida and whatnot, big, much more. They want to do. Here, we're committed to do 500. We walk them. First walk, like everyone's doing now. First walk, second walk. The second walk, if there's items on the list, and they haven't been taken care of from the first walk, our division president has to sign off on them. So it better be something that we had to order. Or, you know, I mean, that's how clean we walk these houses, guys. It's just that important. So we look good, you look good, and your client's happy. We survey the heck out of everybody. Yeah, I mean, we're always going to be, they said around 8 or 10. Again, with 8 or 10 projects, it'll bring us to that high 400s and 500 mark units per year. And then as far as lots go, I think we're good for about, they're being cautious. Everyone's being cautious now about buying land. It's expensive. You know, it's expensive. So we've got land for at least the next 3 years.
We've got a new community with single-family homes opening up in Henderson. It's going to be 20 lots. It's going to be nice-sized lots. They're going to be about 10,000 square feet. Those are coming up in the next couple of months. We also have some townhomes coming up in the Southwest. More in the Russell, Durango kind of area.
Did that answer? You good? Thank you so much. Thank you, brother. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's great information. Now you guys have some options for some of your buyers. We also have Chuck here with Pulte coming up and talk a little bit about it, some of the programs that you guys have. Thanks, Chuck.
Good morning. My name is Chuck. And last time I was holding a microphone, I was singing karaoke at a friend's house. And I hated how my voice sounds. So anyway, okay, so I brought some brochures. Thank you. Also community maps of all of our communities. I work at a community in the southwest part of town we just opened called Paldona. There are two different things. One is the brochure of my community and the other one is the map of all of our other communities. So the community I work at just opened a few weeks ago, 6 different floor plans, 1,800 square feet to about 3,000 square feet, single family homes, 2 to 3 story homes, starting from the 467 range. The community is near Russell and Tanea, so not too far from the townhomes. Just now, the Beezer colleagues are mentioning. So if you have someone looking for single family, I hope to see you there. Pulte Home has many projects in town. I also brought the community map. We also own Del Webb, which is a 55+ community. So we have them in a few different locations. We also own American West. We purchased American West 5 years ago. So some communities would have the Pulte banner, some would have the American West banner. So we are bigger, so not to say we're better, well, we are, but of course, if you ask my boss, right? So last year, we closed almost 1,500 homes. This year, we're on track to do the same. We have many different projects. Most of them are detached. We will have some attached coming up in Summerlin. We also have inventories around town. It's just that lately, most inventories are gonna be a higher price point. Anything under 500,000, if something comes back on the market, we sell it in a few hours. So that's how the market is right now. Our co-op is 3% of the base price. We never changed. We always stayed with 3%. So even when the market was going crazy, we never cut the commission. We also offer 3% of base price to what's closing costs when the buyers use our lender, which is Pulte Mortgage. So I think that's about it, yeah. And my community also has a community park in the middle. If you flip to the back page, there's a map there. There's 22, it's a 22,000 square foot park featuring grass area, play area, walking trails, lots of vegetation. So it's a nice thing to break up the homes. Yes. So over there, we're gonna have, now I only know some of it. Over there is gonna be a multi-product community. There will be some one-story homes that are 2,000 square foot-ish. There will be some larger one-story homes over 3,000 square feet. There will also be some two-story homes that are between 3 to 4,000 square feet. Those are our flagship products that have that did very well at a community called Reference. I don't know if you have visited. So that community lasted quite a few years. So in this new parcel, it's gonna be separate offices. So the big products won't be mixed with the little, not the little, but the smaller ones. So it'll be a little better that way. Last time when we had that big community, it was hard, well, not hard, but sometimes people come in, they're wanting a small home. By the time they come back looking at the 4,000 square foot, they wanted the 4,000 square foot, but they figured out they couldn't, do it financially. So now there's going to be 3 separate offices there. So I heard the pre-sale will be starting in October. I won't be selling there, but let me know my numbers on my brochure on the top left corner. My name is Chuck. So just let me know, I can point you in the right direction. And in the Henderson area right now, we only have the Del Webb 55 plus in Lake Las Vegas. It's hard. Henderson's a little tough. Most of the good Henderson area that we know already built out unless you go up to the mountains. But yeah, so nothing that I know of. 3% of the base price to what's co-op. We never changed. So even when Lennar was paying 0, we were still paying 3%. So, hey, but then again, Lennar is paying 4% on some of the inventories. So the market changes. Yeah. For the buyer, is 3% of the base price to what's closing costs. If we have an inventory, we will look at offers. It's just that right now, like I said, most of the inventory is a little higher price, 700,000 plus. So, but we will still work it out. So, like where I was looking at one of the inventories, because inventories I could cross sell. So there was one inventory I was working on, but I didn't sell it, but somebody did. But full price was $936,000. We marked it down to $750,000. So that's pretty good. It was a 4,000 square foot, 3-story home, 5 bedrooms. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Pre-register, you probably can. Now, my broker, he did put a sign that says the realtor has to be there. So, of course, if it was me, I will do my best to help you. But just don't go around and tell everyone Chuck said it's okay not to go there. But so just go there, and we'll do our best to help you. We do have an online salesperson. If you want to pre-register, you could probably do it that way. Just reach out to me. I'll send you their contact number. Yeah. So that would actually help, too. So if you get the online person to set up a time, they can do the registration for you, even if you are not able to make it.
Any other questions? Thank you so much, Chuck.
No, thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So, I mean, this is obviously a great answer. You guys have all requested to get more information from builders. We're going to try to bring one in for every meeting so you guys know what their incentives are, what their products are, what properties they have, so that you guys can also go out there and not worry about everything else. So we'll take care of that for you. And then in addition to that, how many of you guys are getting calls from people that are buyers and sellers and they're not go all the way through the process, or they're pretending to call them on a WhatsApp? Are you guys getting any of those people? Yes. Okay, great. Well, Chris and Dave are here to talk to you guys a little bit about that, and bring them on up. Come on up. Welcome. Excellent.
Well, thank you guys so much. Dave, come on up. I'll be really quick with mine. First off, how many of you have struggled to find inventory for your client? Yeah? How many of you have sold a new home in the past? Do you know what the best part about selling a new home is? Set it and forget it. He's the wrong cofactor. It actually, that's close, Tom. I'm really impressed that you came up with that so fast. It is a great process because you as the agent get to be a concierge for your client, taking them around town at these amazing communities. You get to do the tours and understand them. And what I did in my business was I made really good friends with guys just like Chuck and Crystal at different communities, so that when I would walk into the community, it would be like cheers. And they go, Chris! Because it really showed my client that I knew of the inventory and paid attention to what was going on in the marketplace. The incentive programs, I do want to give you a little word of warning. I know Chuck was nice enough to say that he'll try to help you out. We're seeing multiple disputes right now where the agent didn't go to the community and we're having to fight with the builder to try to get you paid. So please, if you can't go, we have almost 600 agents in this company. Call one of them to come with you or to meet the client or do something. Call one of the managers. We'll go out and make sure that you get registered so that you get paid and your client's protected. Realtor safety. Is your safety important to you? So everyone here has seen a horror story somewhere of something that happened to somebody in the marketplace. And usually when they were digesting what occurred and how they could have been better protected, it came down to the thought of, what should I do differently? What in the process should I instill into my business to make sure that I'm protected? And so a couple of things I just want to mention to you to put on your radar to keep in mind. Stop doing things by yourself and not telling someone where you're going, right? My wife has locational services on my cell phone, not because she doesn't trust me, but we did it as a family plan so that all of us knew where each other were, so that if there was an emergency or something happened, we knew where we were at. That is very easy for anyone to put on their iPhone. I don't know how it works on Android. I've never actually had an Android. But the whole point is that make sure someone can find you. You can do it on the lockbox. So CenturyLock has a, I can't remember what it's called, but it's on there. It's an emergency service, basically contact, where you can set it up. You go to a property, you can notify it that you're there. A couple of other things. I'm going to tell this story because it really hit home to me on how important it is to protect yourself. I had an agent I worked with at a company almost 18 years ago. Her name was Carol. And Carol's standard of practice with every client was when they would come into the office, she would require that they meet her at the office first, because she doesn't know these people, right? And she would require that they give her a driver's license so that she could take a copy of that driver's license, because she wanted to prove who this person was in case there was, they were impersonating somebody, or, just basic contact info. I mean, name one company that sells something that doesn't ask for your driver's license at least. Pretty much anything you buy nowadays requires some form of contact, right? So Carol did that with a buyer that she had never met. She made him come to the office. She told the front desk, hey, I'm going to show these condos. I'll be back in about 40 minutes. She took a copy of the guy's ID, gave it to the front desk, and she went out to do showings. She's showing a condo, and unfortunately, she opened the door first and went into the unit with her client behind her. Client hit her on the back of the head, started to beat her up. Fortunately for her, people were coming down the hall to show the unit as well. He threw her into a closet and ran out of the unit. And the buyers coming behind her, and this is up in the Seattle marketplace, the buyers coming behind her were now showing the property with the door open. They open the closet and find Carol in the closet. Thank God those people were coming along and they found her. The reason I tell you this story is the guy that she got the ID for was a serial killer. And the only reason they found this guy was because Carol got his driver's license. And they were able to apprehend him for that. I didn't tell you this story to scare the hell out of you. I told you this story because protection of making sure that you're safe means more to us than any commission you could ever earn. And so please, please, please make sure you're protecting yourself. On the other side of these horrible things that are happening, we're seeing a ton of scams where people are trying to scam you, the real estate agent. They're trying to scam your buyers and sellers. We've seen an uptick of these like dramatically, where the real estate division actually just issued a bulletin, which they don't do very often, about a certain scam that's out there. What I want to tell you is it's time to think further and deeper into a transaction than you ever have before. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And the only thing I'm going to suggest to you, the thing that saved me, was I ask a ton of questions, because that's my job as a salesperson, right? When they say something, I ask a question. When they say something, I ask a question. If you get a proof of funds from Wells Fargo with $6 billion in a personal checking account, there is something wrong. Well, no, this person sent me a proof of funds on a local property. It was not an LLC, it was a person's name, like John Smith. No one puts $6 billion in a personal checking account. It just wouldn't happen, right? And the thing is, they sent that out to people, and the agents were so excited. Oh my God, my client has $6 billion, and they're gonna buy all of it with me, right? It doesn't happen that way. So, yeah. 100 million would still be concerning, right? But the whole point was it caused us to ask questions, and because of that, we were able to find out it was fraud. Another thing we got, someone sent an offer by email, full price, and they actually want to pay me extra. They want to pay me way more money than is listed just so that I'll accept the offer, and I can represent them as well, right? Why would they do that? Do you think agents get commission breath? They get a little greedy on what could happen? Yeah, I mean, these people are trying to appeal to your nature to scam you, and of course these offers never go anywhere. They're trying to get contact information, they're trying to get your information, they're trying to get routing numbers so they can go in and drain people's accounts. So if that wasn't lively enough, if I didn't bring the room up with my story, next is Dave, who's gonna share with us some really good information on the same idea. Give it up for Dave.
Good morning. So you've probably heard the scam that's going around right now, which is a big one, is where where fraudsters impersonate sellers. Any tool that you have in your toolbox that is technology that makes your business easier, guess what? It makes criminals' jobs easier as well. Criminals are not dumb. They go ahead and they use all of the public record searches, and they find properties that are vacant, properties that are rentals that don't have a mortgage or any other type of lien. And because of COVID, we've all gotten used to contacting and speaking to clients electronically via Zoom or whatever. They'll contact you. They'll say, hey, I am the seller. I want to sell this property. I want to sell it less than market value because I want to get rid of it. I need to get rid of it, whatever reason. You get all excited and you list it for sale. They ideally tell you they want a cash buyer. They conveniently claim that they are out of state. So they'll communicate with you via text. They won't communicate with you via Zoom with a video. They'll tell the title company that they want to arrange their own notary to sign all the documents, which is convenient because they can just fake the notary forms. And then the funds go through, and the real buyer calls your office, the real owner calls your office and says, what the heck is my property doing out there? I'm going to sue everybody. So here's the fun part. There was an article in the Review Journal a couple months ago, because this has been a big issue. Has anybody ever heard of Jim Marsh, the Kia dealer? This happened to him in some property he owned in Colorado. It was all over the news. So the RJ went to the real estate division. Real estate division's official position at the time, now Chris has said they'd be watchful, mindful of this scam. They're saying, well, real estate agents should look for matters and disclose everything that is material and relevant. But there's really not any kind of legal requirement that you have to verify the identity of the seller. Which is problematic because if it happens, the real buyer is going to sue you, because the real buyer is going to sue to undo that sale. Your clients are going to sue you and say, what steps did you take to make sure this person was the seller? So when the RJ reached out to the local realtor association, do you want to know what your association said? This isn't our problem. I kid you not. They said, this isn't our problem. This is a broker problem. Okay? So if you were expecting your association to come out and tell you what to do on this, sorry, they're not going to. So let me walk you through the steps that I'm going to recommend. So you're going to want to make sure that you're verifying the identity of people, okay? Try to find a photograph of these individuals outside, independently, okay? So you can verify for them. These scammers are smart. In one situation we had in the office, they had the real owner's social security number, because you can buy that stuff on the internet. Okay? So you're going to need to be taking multiple steps. So the answer of, hey, they just contacted me, they said their name was Jim Smith, I checked to make sure that Jim Smith was the listing agent. And I'll be honest, and I'm not throwing any agent under the bus on this, but when we have these fraud issues, the first thing I say is, okay, walk me through what you did to verify that the seller is who they say they are. And most of them were not doing that. So you need to start taking steps. While technically it is true that what the division said, that NRS 645 doesn't say that you have to, they're going to be, and there are division complaints. And if one of these sales go through, the real buyer is going to sue everybody. And your defense will be, I took reasonable steps to verify this person was the seller. They don't expect you to be Matlock. They don't expect you to be a CSI investigator, but they do expect you to take reasonable steps. So yeah, I looked them up on social media to make sure that they're really from where they are. I asked for a copy of their driver's license, and I wouldn't ask them to send it to you because they can manipulate that. Ideally, you have them come in the office. If they can't come in the office, have a Zoom call in real time where they get their ID out of their wallet and they show it to you. Okay, because again, we're talking about steps to protect you. Like Chris said, if the proof of funds, if it seems like they're saying, hey, I want to price this under market value, that would be something that would be a red flag. I want a cash buyer. Not necessarily things by themselves that are bad, but taken together could be an example of fraud. If you have any inkling that this is a situation that you have on any of your listings, you need to speak to your broker immediately, because the defense, if the real estate division comes and says, what steps did you take, are going to be, well, we tried to verify their identity. Now, some people will say, well, that's the job of the title company. Title company's job is to ultimately to verify ID. That's true. But in one situation, we had both the real purchaser, or excuse me, the real owner, and the fraudsters both failed the verification of identity that the title company sent. The real owners had trouble with technology and failed the test because they couldn't figure out how to do it. The fraudsters didn't have the information. And again, these are the people who had the social security number. They had it. They had fake IDs made with the real social security number. So you have to be mindful. And so the concern that I got from the article that I wanted to share with you is the division says, yeah, we're aware of it's a problem, but we're not really sure how to address it. Your association says we're aware of a problem, but we're not really sure how to do it. The AG, NAR, the FBI, the Secret Service, they're all saying, yep, this is an issue out there, we're aware of it, but we're not tracking stats, which is all fine and dandy until you get a division complaint because you represented this seller that is not the real seller. And then they're asking you, what steps did you take? And when you say, I didn't take any to sell this vacant piece of property for $7 million where I'm getting a commission, it's hard to say that you acted in everyone's best interest and that you took reasonable steps. I'm not expecting you to get on a plane and fly to wherever these people are or go to China and verify these people. What I am suggesting is, if you're meeting with a client who communicates with you nothing but like by an app or via email, that you need to take a couple extra steps to verify who they are. Just like Chris said, if you went in to buy a car, they're going to verify your identity. So you just need to be mindful of those steps. I know you guys love bright, shiny lines. You like for us to say, if you do these 4 things, you are going to be safe. I can't tell you that. It's going to be based on every one of the individual situations. So the biggest piece of advice I can tell you is speak to your broker as quickly as possible as soon as you identify that this could potentially be a problem. Okay? Communicate with your title company. Use a title company that you feel comfortable with and that's professional, that's going to make sure and verify this information. Because at the end of the day, everyone's going to hold some responsibility. If one of these sales go through, yes, it's absolutely true that the buyer will that the owner, the real owner, will get that property back. But you're going to have a buyer who isn't going to have a piece of property, who's going to have their damages. You're going to have the original owner who's going to have damages. And they're all going to be looking at all of the professionals in line. Buyer's agent, seller's agent, title, everything else. So please be mindful, speak to your broker. Did I scare everybody too much, Chris?
Real quick before we, is this working, Beta? Real quick, Angela has a question for sure, and then Brandon had something, but I sat in a CE class at LVR, which was a blast, by the way. I had the most fun you can have for 3 hours. He laughed because he's been to them. That same scam happened to one agent who brought it up to the class of 50 people. 7 people in the class have been affected by the same scam. And it was all a property out in Boulder City, vacant land, that one scammer went and found all of these parcels with out-of-state owners and tried to list all of them with agents. And multiple agents had listed the properties, canceled the listings, because the parcel didn't sell, right? And then they relisted it with another agent, then the parcel sold. And I mean, so this was a blatant scam that multiple agents and brokerages were affected by. It was really scary. The other thing that came out of that class when we were talking was the fact that you as an agent are responsible for maintaining a communication log with your client. And so one of the interesting points was if you were in front of the commission or the real estate division, what information would you have to present to them showing your communication with these fraudulent parties? You know, because usually it would have been a text message. I didn't know this, but the real estate division will not accept text messages. Yeah, because they can be changed. You can edit a text message, so they won't even look at them, right? That freaked me out. But what they will look at is that email communication. So if you had your email chain, they'll look at the app that we have because it's email communication that you can send by email. And so what I would suggest, if you're not using the app for communication with your clients, you absolutely should be. You can take the email chain for that conversation and actually copy it because every one of them has an email chain. And our SkySlope system, every single file you open has an email specific to that file. So you can add it to all the communication that you have for your client. Let's say you're like me. You have that Yahoo email that you've still been using for the last 15 years, and you have all of these folders in it for your property addresses, right? Unfortunately, if the saving grace is in that file and it's not in our brokerage file, it won't help you. Did you know that you can take 50 emails at a time and forward them to an email? I didn't know that. And so you can hit control in that email, click all of the 50 emails that you have in it, forward them at one time to your SkySlope file or to the app, and you preserve all of that conversation, and then you can actually delete that file that you don't need anymore. So it was all good stuff that I got from the class.
Yeah, communication's key. Text messages I don't like either. Emails are best because there's a date and a timestamp. If you communicate with them through another manner and you're worried about it, send them a confirming email. This email is going to confirm or record that we spoke today about this. If you don't remember this, contact me. It will help you, because the division is going to be 2-3 months down the road. A lawsuit with the original owner trying to unwind the sale could be a couple of years. So having that information is going to be the difference.
So one of the other things that came out of this, and we'll get Angela's question, was the client found out the property had been listed because they went to Realtor.com, and they were just looking in Las Vegas about another property, and their property was on it for sale. And they're like, wait a minute, we didn't list that for sale. So number one, if that agent who originally sold them the parcel had stayed in touch with them and communicated, they would have had a client that was looking for a deal and possibly would have been selling that land, but they stopped communicating with them, right? And so just keep that in the back of your mind. The one in my class that we were in, an agent had just talked to the client about selling their property, and the client said, as soon as we get ready, we're gonna call you. And the agent then, about 2 weeks later, is on the MLS and see the property listed, and they were pissed. And so they're thinking about all the horrible things this client has done to them and how mad they were. Come to find out it was all a fraudulent deal and they'd never listed it. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Angela, your question.
It's back to what that would look like when you're asking your seller that you haven't met for ID. Maybe if you're not comfortable doing that, would it be, I guess I know in the past I have a good relationship with my escrow officer. So I've had her pull a property profile, like, hey, I'm about to list this property. I don't know the sellers. Can you help me look into it a little bit more? So they would pull like a property profile or a lien report. And then I guess, could we ask them to, like, could you maybe ask them for their ID? Like if it's not something that we're comfortable asking for as agents, or do you want us to put that into our normal day-to-day process with taking a listing?
So I just want to be clear on this. The problem is if you don't have a transaction yet, it'd be hard for you to utilize the escrow officer to do it. Here's what we really would hope for. At some point in the course of the action of selling the property or listing the property, you physically have seen this client. Because in the scenario that we were talking about, no one had physically seen each other. And so even if they did give you an ID and it was a fraudulent ID or a fraudulent passport or something like that, you would have a copy of it to show the real estate division, hey, listen, I asked, right? And that's the point. But if you had a Zoom meeting with them, most scammers don't want you to see their real face. And so what I would suggest is that if you utilize our app and you say, hey, listen, it's just a standard in my practice that, you know, when I start the process with every client, and by the way, we all have to make this a standard of practice, right? Because if you only do it for one client, you don't do it for the rest, now we got a major fair housing issue, right? But the whole point would be I'm suggesting that you start video chatting with the clients that you don't know. Hey, listen, I've got an app, just want to show you how it works. Let's hop on a quick video. I'll bring your contact info in. Now you know that they know how to use it, number one. And now you can literally do it from your phone and just say, hi, I'm Chris. Nice to meet you face to face. Just wanted you to know how to use this. And in future communication, I'm going to upload everything here so that you have it. I think that's the real point. If you could go further and get their IDs and other things so that, number one, you have their contact info, again, you got to make it a standard of practice. You do it with every client, right? And I think that's what this will cause.
We had one scenario where it was a listing agreement with a fraudster where the agent had had the listing active for almost a year and had done multiple price reductions and had never asked for ID. Now, fortunately, we were able to resolve that. So, you know, the real owner did not move forward with filing complaints and everything else. But the agent never verified. So to answer your question, if you want my honest opinion, I'd say get comfortable with it. For my safety and your safety, I need to verify the identities of everybody here just to make sure there's a lot of fraud going on. You know, however your brokers want to say it, but if it was me, I would say, hey, for my safety and your safety, and just to make sure that we're, you know, preventing fraud, it's my pattern and practice to have, you know, have a video conference. You know, I understand that you're out of state, but have a video conference just so that I can put a name to the face and a face to the name, or however you want to say it. But I would get in the habit of saying that. And then if they refuse, then there's your red flag to go to your broker and say, I have a concern about that.
I just wanted to echo what Chris was saying and even follow that up with something further. There's always going to be red flags. Trust the hairs in the back of your neck. I know Jim Marsh. I talked with Jim. We've had two of them that we've caught before, thankfully, before there was ever anything really that length and term, no offers and all that. And every time, no, can't talk to you. Let's do WhatsApp. Red flag. Oh, I don't have that. In the case of Jim Marsh, they actually had an ID with Jim Marsh's name and a picture on it. But that man refused to get on Zoom. Red flag. Oh, I can't come into the office because I'm in China right now. Red flag. Or Topeka, Kansas. Doesn't matter. Oh, I want to use my own notary. Red flag. All of these things come up with red flags. Same with buyers. They send you a proof of funds with $6 billion in it. Red flag. All of these things. If WhatsApp comes up, that's the first thing. Click. I'm done. WhatsApp that's the huge red flag. I don't know how you continue with who is on WhatsApp, by the way, but all of these, Brandon. Yeah, Brandon. Have you gotten any transactions yet out of it, Brandon? A couple dates. Yeah, oh God, here we go. Oh Lordy, forgive him. But those are the red flags. Pay attention to the hairs in your back of your neck. I always tell that. And it always amazes me that when you go down and you start to talk to them, well, you know, I thought something sounded fishy, but... So pay attention to all those things because they add up.
By the way, one thing I've told my clients in the reverse of this, you know, when you have a client that's living in their listing and it's being shown, there's scams on the other side of that of people who aren't realtors showing up at the door and saying, hey, I'm here to show this property. I require for all of my sellers that the person log into the lockbox so I have a history of who's there. I mean, it's time for us to really start thinking around all of the safety items of what it matters and what it means, Bobby.
Yeah, just so everyone at home. Oh, hello, everyone. Got to prepare myself. Okay. I think aren't most of the scams done with vacant properties and land? We're not finding anybody actually living at the properties, are we?
Rental properties.
Yeah, it's vacant. And are they providing people access to get in these properties? The realtors?
Typically,
so show it?
at least the ones we've had, we haven't had that issue. But technically, You know, if the agent is moving forward, puts a lockbox on it, or if it's vacant land, if it's rental, you know, I could see that as a problem, which would be another issue. As a side note, if you have clients who have purchased property like this, what a great way to reach out. Hey, this is an issue that's going on. Wanted to make you aware of it. If you've got any questions, feel free to contact me. Just another way to reach out. Send in a WhatsApp. So reach out to Jim Marsh.
I'm not sure if anyone has experienced on Instagram. They give you a DM, and I followed him. I said, oh, he's a realtor out of California, and he said, I have a buyer that wants a 1.6 million. I thought, how did you find me? So then I said, could you please send me, you know, I would like to talk with you face to face. Oh, I'm busy. I gave him my phone number, which I never do. And I said, let's do FaceTime or something. And all of a sudden he says, well, let's meet in Vegas. I'm like, no, let's figure out how we can connect and how we can connect the dots, because that was kind of suspicious. And his Facebook, his Instagram, when I was going through it, it was a couple of, you know, he had a suit on. I'm not sure if anyone's experienced, they're doing fake profiles. And I don't know if anyone's experiencing that on Instagram.
Catfishing, they call it, where there's a whole series on MTV called Catfish, and it's about people who fake Instagram accounts and lure people into different things and scams and stuff that they do.
So, do we have people that have been caught and arrested and put in jail so far? And is this local to America, or are these people calling from outside the country?
It's so rampant that the Secret Service has issued multiple warnings. The AG's office is aware of it. There's not really statistics per se about who's been prosecuted, but there's a significant amount of potential liability all the way around. But it's a problem nationwide.
I've heard it's everywhere. Like, it's not just a scam event that they do here. It's a scam they can do anywhere, and they try to do it everywhere that they can. I mean, if you're a good scammer, you're not going to just have one patsy. You're going to have a bunch of them, right? You're going to try to do it everywhere you can.
All right, Trish online said, can you ask him about these intent to buy offers where they offer list price and say the title goes in their name and the mortgage stays in the seller's name, and they pay on their behalf?
I wouldn't do it. You know, that's a conversation I think you definitely have to have with your client, with the seller, and because there's all kinds of issues for them, for the seller on that. So, assuming that the deal is even legit, there are issues that a seller would want to address.
And so I would say we're seeing a lot of different emails and letters of intent and stuff like that to purchase property creative ways. If you get one, before you run it by your seller and stuff, please talk to a broker. Let's talk through it and make sure it's something that's even worthy of a discussion. So.
If the question starts with, what if we did this, it's usually a bad idea.
Well, I think the whole point is that we've seen multiple assignment contracts come out where hedge funds are wanting to buy your property and have you carry it. But we've seen what we call some of the other companies out there that do it. They have different clauses which transfer title to the new buyer, but yet the mortgage stays with the old seller. They've got to make all the payments until they go to resell it. And so, I mean, the problem is, you know, the state says we have to present all offers, and so we're presenting it, but it doesn't make any sense, right? Would you give up your property and all the rights to it? No. But as someone who's in a really bad shape that can't make the payment, they might. And so we're seeing a lot of crazy stuff out there. I don't think owner carry is bad. Owner carry financing is not a bad thing. It's actually a great thing when it's done correctly. But a lot of these deals are not owner carry financing. They're like, give me your property until I resell it and sit and wait, right? Who would do that rationally? Any other questions on this topic? WhatsApp? Anything at all we can help with? All right, so a couple of things to keep in mind. We have the trunk or treat coming up, and let's give Dave a round of applause for doing that. We have the trunk or treat coming up here at the Green Valley office. So if you haven't cleaned out your trunk in a while, now's the time to leave it the way it is and bring some candy and just pop it open. And they'll come through and clear it for you. That was funny. I don't care what you say. That was funny. Thank you. That's why I like you. Couple of other things to keep in mind. We have some great CE classes coming up at our Spanish Ridge office that Lois has put together. Post-licensing is there for those that need it. Just reach out to her. Those are taught by Zoom. We have some other sales trainings coming up. And Brandon has agreed, along with me, to do some business planning clinics online for everyone who'd like to take part. And so the idea will be we'll put out some dates and times. It'll be a multiple series type event, but we'll make it easy to attend right there on your camera. I look the best on small lenses like that. And we'll have that coming up in the month of October. And then you have an academy, I believe, right? October 30th through November 3rd is our next academy. If you haven't attended, it's a great time had by all. And with that, folks, let's give it up. If you want reservations for the luncheon, Bill, wave your hand back there. Bill is in the back for reservations, and Bill has raffle tickets. I got to tell you, these baskets are amazing. They have hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of booze and other goodies inside of them. Hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of booze. So reach out to Bill and get some tickets for that. Thank you guys. Have a great week.